Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I am Sean Butler. Bugsy Malone has just been out for a walk, but she was barking like crazy, so I couldn't get a chance to really record via this iPhone 4G technology that we're still stuck with. I hope you are all happy and healthy, doing the things you love with those that you love doing them with. Please do me a favor, guys, smash the like button for me on the video like you always have done in the past, and I hope you will continue to do in the future. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm not even sure where we're at anymore. I don't really get a chance to look at the numbers. Hit the notification bell and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on today's topic. I hope this will be a quick one for you. But listen, there's quite a lot to talk about in as much as getting things off my chest, because I haven't really had a chance to over the last few weeks. But Tottenham did present, or at least the news has broken, that Tottenham are about to sign 18-year-old starlet from Korean team, K-League team, Guangdong. I'm going to butcher this guy's name. I'm not even sure of the order in which the words are spoken, but is it Min Yang Hyuk or Hyuk Yang Min? I'm not sure. It sounds a little bit like the meme that's going around on Twitter and Instagram. Huak Tour, spit on that Yang. If you know, you know. Look, I mean, you take away Timo Werner and Tottenham's transfer window business has seen a lot of top 18-year-old talent coming. Maybe more 18-year-old coming than is on the top viewed list on the hub. Cover your ears, children, cover your ears. And the last thing I'll say on that note is, I guess some people would imagine or perceive that our transfer window thus far has sucked as much as some of that 18-year-old top talent off of the hub. Yeah, guys, look, it is what it is. I don't think it is a this versus that situation. I think a lot of people are kind of conflating the idea that because we've signed this kid, that means that's our winger. You know, it's not, right? This guy's not coming in until January at least, earliest, and he is probably, no, I have no idea what the standard is like in the K-League. I really don't. I did manage to try to look at the Y-Scout tool via 4G iPhone, which was quite an experience, and get to grips a little bit on this guy's, what I think of this guy. And look, to be honest, I think he is potentially worth the hype. There's a lot of hype about this guy coming out of that region. I think £4 million is the sort of rumoured or purported number, and you know, that is a number that's kind of meaningless to Tottenham, or not meaningless, but like, you know, insignificant when you consider the amount of money that's going for kind of top talent of the same age in the Premier League or in the Championship. Look at what we paid for Archie Gray. This guy might not be ready, probably isn't ready yet for the step up, but he could be one for the future. Now, obviously, I don't need to kind of remind you of the other incentives to go after this market. You know, we need a successor for Heung Min Son. Tottenham make a lot of money from the Korean market, and it's lucrative in terms of pre-season tours, it's lucrative in terms of corporate hospitality, it's lucrative in terms of shirt sales. And I think that, you know, getting a player who is also a bums out of seats type of player will maintain that relationship with Tottenham being the go-to Premier League team for South Korean fans, the go-to European team for Premier League fans. I would be surprised if Kim Min-jae draws the same amount of attention as a centre-back as Sonny ever did, you know, as a winger. Similar to the player, like, you know, the PSG player, is it Yang In Lee? I can't remember right now. My mind is filled up with other stuff. But you know, it's important if you're looking for a successor to get someone that's going to, you know, draw the attention. And for me, the player is looks like that sort of guy. Now, we'll wait and see whether or not he's ready for the step up. Morning, guys. You all right? How you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, man, you good?
She's at home. She's at home. The difference being, guys, I guess, is that, you know, going after all this 18-year-old stuff is part of Tottenham's transfer policy. But are we going to be guilty of conflating the concept that because we signed an 18-year-old midfielder in Archie Gray that can also play right back, that means that our search for a monster six is over? And I would probably make the argument, given the cost of Archie Gray, and a gentle reminder, if you look at what Archie Gray did against Chelsea last season, he dominated Caicedo, he dominated Enzo. I think it was Enzo, the second midfielder, in that particular game. He was unbelievable. And so there is probably a different kind of way of perceiving the Archie Gray signing than there should be potentially about Lucas Bergvall or about this kid who's not going to be here until January and obviously probably won't be ready for this season at all. So I don't think we should be looking at it and thinking, oh no, because we've signed this guy, that means we're not going to be getting somewhere else. In fact, the Football Insider have come out with a story today saying that Tottenham actually have, kind of sidelined. We've got a monster transfer kitty to go after what we need in the second half of the window. Once the Copa America is done, once all the players come back from the Euros and their break from the internationals, once they come back, then Tottenham have got themselves in a healthy position financially to act. And that's one way of perceiving it. And I agree with them in as much as the money should be there. Look at how many players we have left the club this summer at the top end of the salary. Like Sessegnon, I know we kind of forget he was even a part of our squad at times, but on a cost per minute played basis, I did the math on this last season. I'm pretty sure it was something like £9,500 we paid him per minute played over the course of his career in the first team, something like that. I'm definitely wrong on the number specifically, but it was a crazy amount, bested only by Ndombele, who's another player that's now out of the way. Obviously, we probably paid off most of his salary, so there's not like a saving there, but in terms of future consideration, in terms of future contribution, it's off the books. Hojbjerg's off the books. Serge Reguilon will soon be off the books. Maybe he's going to Manchester United. And maybe we can get some money in for that one if that's the case. That was the story today. A lot of money has come off the salaries. I think that even though Tottenham's revenues over the last season will be a lot lower than they were the season before, because second season without the Champions League, but our wage to turnover ratio should similarly be reduced to the low 40th percentile, which to me suggests that there is money, as I said in my kind of comeback video a couple of days ago, to go big in both transfer fee and in salary, if necessary, on the positions that are still viable and vital. And a striker is vital, a specific striker is vital, as is a winger. And I still maintain that if we are going to be serious and compete, then we still probably need a left-sided centre-back of sorts, someone to come in, unless a Dorrington, unless one of these guys that's stepping up, Ashley Phillips or whoever, is ready to come in and play in that role, or unless Ange believes that we can handle what we've got with what we've got, or what we need with what we've got, and that right and left side doesn't really matter. I still maintain that it does. I think it adds balance to your squad to have a left-sided, left-footed centre-back. It's gutting to me to see Calafiori go to Arsenal. I think they've got a worldie there. £40 million, €40 million is the deal, and 50% of that from Bologna goes back to was it Basel, I think. So the Bologna haven't really made that much money on a top-tier player. You'd have thought they would have asked and kept and held out for more money. Anyway, left-sided centre-backs. We definitely need one, I believe, to balance the squad. Unless, like I say, unless there is a belief that these guys are ready in the youth setup. But for me, the biggest question mark right now is the midfield complete? Archie Gray, if you're considering him a midfielder, if you're considering Lucas Bergvall a midfielder, which of course we are, if you're considering Bissouma staying at the club, which, according to reports, he looks happy, and his performance against Hearts, not that I've had a chance to really see it, but his performance against Hearts was very impressive, and he got a goal. Was it Hearts or QPR? QPR, sorry. Maybe he, and as I said last season, statistically, even though he went off the boil after the Luton game, statistically, his numbers have always been very impressive relative to other people in that position. And so it's more of a kind of trying to get the best out of the player's mentality, trying to get the guy on the right side thought process wise, and maybe you don't need to improve. But I still believe that whilst versatility is the name of the game for the day, and every team seems to be looking for versatile players. I was watching Arsenal streams last night that were talking about their need for a number 9, and that Arteta just doesn't want a player that can play in one position. He wants players that can play in several. So does Ange. I think a lot of teams now are just, I think it's the kind of next phase of football is this idea of everything, of everybody is an everything player. You know, Tottenham system, you're playing right back. Archie Gray playing right back. Is he a right back? Is he a DM? Well, look, when we have the ball, right backs are DMs anyway, or at least midfielders anyway. When we don't, you have to have the engine to get back and defend like a right back. Archie Gray has proven to be that. So I don't consider Archie Gray and Hyuk or Bergvall in the same conversation. I think Archie Gray has been brought in personally to be first team ready, first team utilised, which to me is fine. As I said, I really like the player. I really do like the player. I fancy the player. I think he's going to be a superstar, but there's the question mark about whether or not this guy is ready. When it comes to the rest of the window, though, enough of the 18-year-old stuff for me, guys. We've got a brighter future than the sun at the moment. You know, you have to wear shades when you look at Tottenham's youth team, because the future is that bright, it's blinding. But for me, when it comes to the last pieces of the puzzle, you need, like, age is irrelevant, to be honest. If you're good enough, you're old enough, that's fine. I'm not saying, like, let's avoid at 19-year-olds if the best 19-year-olds or 20-year-olds or whatever out there are the ones we're going for. But I'm just saying, enough of the kind of ones for the future talk. We need a striker who can come in and can bang 20 goals and can compete with Richalison, if Richalison's going to stay, which it looks like he is. And I'm happy with Ivan Toney. I'd love to see Tottenham go and get a Gyökeres, you know, do the face mask thing. I think he, you know, would be awesome. I'd love to see us go and try and compete with Leipzig. Let's see what Leipzig, you know, are looking like with regards Dani Olmo. Apparently, they've rejected a £55 million bid from Barcelona for Dani Olmo already. We need someone who can play in that kind of right, left, central, give some competition for James Maddison. Haven't seen too much noise in that regard. Eberechi Eze, what's happening there? Like, I think he's on his holidays still after the Euros, so we'll see what's happening. But if he's the guy, like I say, to me, as much as I love Eberechi Eze, like all of us, we all want to see a player of that caliber. I would still make the argument that, and I stand by it, that I think that it's a brilliant player. He is going to be a world-class player, but does he offer what you need as a left winger, a direct left winger, a one-on-one specialist left winger that can take things on? Not so sure. Not to the degree of others that are out there. He can play in the 10, he can play in the 8, but we've already got all these other players in the 8. We've got Bentancur, we've got Skip, we've got Bergvall, we've got Archie Gray, we've still got Lo Celso, I think, unless I missed something. I'm pretty sure we've still got Lo Celso. You know, we have Bissouma too. We've got so many of these 8s out there. Kulusevski can play in the 8. Rumours that he might be going out to Italy for 45 million. For me, like, I like Kulusevski. If someone wants to bid 50 million quid for Kulusevski, I'll bite your hand off for that sort of money for him. But as a player, I think he offers something that most teams don't have. And think back to that Luton away game when we needed someone. We were down to 10 men and the team were exhausted, and he was the only out there for 25 minutes, and he was sensational at just doing what no one else in our team can do in that position. And he's versatile. He can come into the 10 if need be. He can play in the 8. We've got Pape Sarr. I forgot to mention Pape Sarr. We've got so many midfielders now that are versatile. It's time for a little bit of specificity. And if the Football Insider are right, more exclusives than Bugsy Malone's OnlyFans account, then, and I agree with them, we should have a lot of budget left over in terms of salary and in terms of transfers to be able to go big. If they are looking at Archie Gray as ready for the here and now, and I would make the argument that unless you sell one of the players that we have, a Bentancur or a Bissouma, then there isn't enough space in the squad to go after the Monster 6 that I've been calling for over a year. It is what it is. It is, you know, I'd rather see us go after the Monster 6 that made sense, that was ready now to come in and sit and protect that back 3, back 4 kind of model, back 2 model. But we haven't gone in that direction, and that's okay. It's not my choice, it's just my preference, but would have been something else, but we haven't gone that direction. I don't think, unless we're going to see a Bissouma or a Bentancur leave, I don't think there's space for another midfielder. So therefore, on that basis, do we now have enough budget to go after 2 last positions at the top end of the pitch? A proper winger, Desiree Doué, young, really interesting. It's going to cost 60 million quid. The Tottenham really want to go after it. PSG and Bayern Munich are favourites for the player's signature, but apparently Tottenham are making an inquiry to the agents and saying, hey, look, is it worth us wasting our time on this one? Is there any desire at all from Desiree? any Desiree at all to come over to Tottenham. If there isn't, then let's not waste our time. Let's go in a different direction. There's plenty of players out there, guys. There's plenty of players out there that do what we need. And in terms of the 9, short demand, high supply. However, there's plenty of players that if you have the budget and the resources and the willingness and the ambition, that we can go and get. And whilst time is running out, I think it's 22 days until the next, I think it's 22 days until the season starts, and we're away on tour, and nothing very much happens when we're away on tour generally, but it is still possible and plausible that we can get something done. I believe that we're still gonna make moves in that department, and then obviously we need a left-sided centre-back, and if Emerson moves on, we need a full-back as well. Archie Gray maybe is going to be considered the right-back cover for Pedro Porro, so we can sell Emerson anyway. But in terms of natural outspend so far, it's relatively insignificant. We're probably down, what, net 20 million quid? We've got a lot of money, I stand by what I said to you guys a month before the season finished, a month before the window opened at the start of the kind of May period. I believe our budgets, our budgets without net spend should be 100 million quid. With all the players that have gone out, we haven't got the right money for them that we thought we were going to get, but their wages are off the books. We've got spend, we've got space, and I'm just hoping for a monster. Is it Eze? If it is, let me know your thoughts. Is he good enough for you? Does he do enough for you to solve enough solutions in the left wing and in the kind of competition with James Maddison's spot? Is an Eze and a Gyökeres, does that make your window go, hello, we're cool now, and then we just need to go and find a little bit of like support in the defensive role? Or are you looking for more? For me, as I say, the Hyuk deal, the Hyuk tour and spit on that Yang, I think is an interesting one. I'm delighted with it. I think it makes a hell of a lot of sense commercially, and I think this kid's got what it potentially takes to become the successor to Sonny. So I've got no problem with it at all, as long as we don't consider it to be the signing that is our winger coming in. And I think we shouldn't be silly and conflate the two. We're doing two different sets of business here. There's the future planning, and then there is the here and now. And the here and now has been mainly focused on outgoings thus far, and I'm okay with that, but it's now time to get some experience and some specificity. And if Archie Gray is deemed by the club to be ready for the right here and now, and at 40 million quid you'd expect him to be put in that bucket, then that means that for me, we're going to probably be working with what we've got with the midfield, which is a shame because I still think we need a specific 6, a monster 6, which we don't have. Unless someone like a Bissouma or a Bentancur or an Archie Gray or a Lucas Bergwall are ready to step up and adapt and grab the ball by the horns. You know what? There is an opportunity for one of them to do so, because last season none of them did. This season, either one of the new guys or maybe one of the guys that are there can recognise that there is a chance to really stand up and be counted and grab the opportunity. That is what it is. But for me, the solutions now have to be a striker and a wing forward. And if it's not Desiree Doué, and Danny Olmo is going to cost too much because Barcelona have been turned down by Leipzig, and Eberechi Eze is wanted by everybody, and I'm not entirely sure he fits what we need anyway, to the point where it's worth spending record club money signing on it, on him, then, you know, we will see what happens. If Conor Gallagher's name is still on the list, then I'll start to get concerned. And speaking to Johnny yesterday, Johnny still thinks that that's the case. And we know Johnny knows a thing or two about a thing or two, but we will find out, guys. We will find out. 18 and a half minutes. This will probably be uploaded by sometime between September the 1st and November the 15th, 2026, because that's what 4G is like. I love you all. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Where are you seeing the action? Am I missing something? Am I forgetting something? I probably have. I'm trying to catch up on all the news that I've missed, but it seems like the same names. Nico Williams, seems like he's still on Tottenham's list, but he ain't going anywhere. Desiree Doué, are we now third choice behind two teams that are bigger? But are Tottenham now not afraid to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich and PSG? Because we've competed with Barcelona and Bayern Munich already this year and beaten them to the punch for young talent. So, excuse me, is Desiree Doué also capturable, if that's even a word? I'm not sure. I really like the player. I'm excited by Hyuk, however you say his name, but I'm not conflating him with a ready for here now transfer name, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I'll get this uploaded as soon as possible, and we will be back with more tomorrow. Love you all. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, guys, bye bye.